Well, first I was gonna pop this guy hanging from the street light, and then I realized, he's just working out. And how would I feel if somebody come running in the gym, bust me in my ass while I'm on a treadmill?
There's a buzz in Hollywood about an untitled Men in Black sequel that's rumored to start production in January 2025. The Men in Black 5 might be coming sooner than we think. The Men in Black franchise is nearly a $2 billion powerhouse, with each film turning a profit for the studios and playing a big role in Will Smith's career success. The original Men in Black won an Academy Award for Best Makeup and was also nominated for Best Original Score and Best Art Direction. It even snagged a Golden Globe nomination for Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy. Critics loved it, giving it a 91% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. After the movie came out, Ray-Ban's sales of their Predator 2 sunglasses, worn by the characters to shield against neuralizers, shot up to $5 million. In today's market, where studios are always on the hunt for the next big thing, a franchise with that kind of impact isn't going anywhere. And this franchise has the chance to become one with another big franchise, 23 Jump Street. I got really excited when they announced the plan for a crossover between 23 Jump Street and Men in Black. When 21 Jump Street came out in 2012, it was a huge hit, doing great at the box office and getting solid reviews. The sequel did just as well, with even better financial results and similar praise, which made it seem like the Jump Street series had big things ahead. There was talk about a crossover with Men in Black, which showed how much potential the series had that made the idea of a crossover for MIB5 even more appealing. Channing Tatum recently mentioned that the script for 23 Jump Street was the best script I've ever read for a third movie. Given how 22 Jump Street's end credits joked about various sequel ideas, it feels like the franchise should have had a third movie by now. The series has been on ice for a decade, and the crossover with Men in Black, which was already in the works years ago, could be a perfect fit. Channing Tatum also mentioned that Jonah Hill is keen on making the Men in Black and Jump Street crossover happen. The idea of combining these two franchises is brilliant and could have been incredibly funny. Both series feature unconventional investigators who don't fit the typical detective mold, making their crossover a natural and hilarious fit. Even though Jump Street and Men in Black come from different eras, their humor and style still resonate today. I still enjoy both comedies, and it's hard to imagine that a collaboration wouldn't be a hit. The Jump Street films and Men in Black do have some similar comedic elements, but their contrasting settings would have made a crossover even more hilarious. Imagining Schmidt and Jenko dealing with aliens alongside seasoned agents from Men in Black is a perfect way to use these great film series. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum have such great chemistry that it feels like they could shine in any scenario, and teaming them up with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones would be incredible. The mix of their distinct vibes could create one of the funniest modern comedies. Given how iconic Agent J and K are, they deserve a chance to connect with today's audience. Combining them with the Jump Street duo would offer a unique and entertaining cinematic experience that fans would love to see. The Men in Black and Jump Street crossover can be a great way to keep both franchises going, especially since it's been over 5 years since either series released a new film. Even if having Channing and Jonah return to their roles a decade later might seem a bit over the top to some, it could actually add to the comedy, with the duo still playing those goofy undercover roles despite being older. The Men in Black setting would also mean Schmidt and Jenko wouldn't need to pose as students anymore, which would make sense plot-wise, while still letting them keep their immature humor. This could have breathed new life into the Jump Street series, potentially leading to more crossovers or even bigger storylines, which might have saved the franchise. Plus, if the crossover had gone through, it might have prevented the release of Men in Black International, which didn't fare too well. Considering how popular Men in Black is, it deserved a better follow-up than its latest film. Although Men in Black International avoided a box office flop, it received poor reviews and didn't capture the same magic as the originals. Having Will Smith return to Men in Black could have made a big difference. If the crossover with Jump Street had been made instead of MIB International, it likely would have revitalized the franchise, reaching a modern audience and boosting its popularity. Approval of this crossover could give us a brilliant MIB5 movie that could benefit everyone involved. As it turns out, MIB 23 was indeed on the table. Despite the seemingly huge differences between the Men in Black and Jump Street franchises, a crossover that merges the two into one universe is in the works. The challenge, according to director James Bobin, was blending the distinct tones of the two series without losing what makes each unique. In an interview, Boban discussed the difficulties of combining these two franchises. He pointed out that the main issue is balancing their different tones, but reassured that the script does a great job of merging the two worlds. Speaking with Cinema Blend, Boban had this to say: "The challenge is a tonal challenge. It really is, because both worlds are so fantastic, and then it's one of those things where you think, how is this possibly going to work? And then you read the script and go, I get it, this is amazing. It's fantastic and it's really fun. In a way, I'm trying to imagine neither of those things exist before, and then what would it be together, and that ends with a very interesting place to be. But I love both worlds very much, and Jonah and Channing are hilarious, so they'll be just, you know." Although we didn't know much about the plot yet, Boban's comments suggest that the Jump Street cast was supposed to take center stage in the film. Since merging the two franchises involves balancing their tones, it seems likely that Men in Black's tone will be adjusted to fit the Jump Street universe. If you had to sum it up, it might just be Jump Street with aliens. That isn't a bad thing. The Jump Street movies are a blast, and adding Men in Black's behind-the-scenes alien fighting could have brought a fresh and quirky twist to the series. It would have also been interesting to see if the franchise continued after MIB 23, especially if the characters return to their more mundane lives, assuming, of course, their memories of the adventure aren't erased. Even though a Jump Street and Men in Black crossover seems unlikely, Channing Tatum's recent comments give me hope, and I'd still love to see it happen. Both franchises have been fantastic comedies with unique setups, and their humor resonated with audiences in their respective times. Even though comedy has evolved since their last big hits, I believe the blend of nostalgia, great writing, and solid performances could make this crossover a hilarious success. If Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum, Will Smith, and Tommy Lee Jones were all on board, it would be an incredibly surreal and entertaining experience. So, should Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum aim for a third Jump Street movie, or is it better to leave it at 2? Each actor would bring something unique to the table, and a bit of a partner swap in the crossover could lead to some hilarious chaos. Both franchises had fantastic supporting casts, so bringing back classic characters could add even more fun. I'd love to see Captain Dixon reacting to Schmidt and Jenko battling aliens. Despite the time that's passed since the proposed 23 Jump Street movie, I still believe it would be a massive hit, and I'm hopeful it might get the green light someday. Well, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates on the latest movies and shows. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.